Is YouTube a community? It may surprise you to hear me say, no, it's not. YouTube is a video sharing site that has become increasingly hierarchical and has changed a lot since the introduction of money, creators getting paid. But does community exist on YouTube? And has that changed? Yes, it exists. And yes, it's changed. So there are four different types of community on YouTube. There's your community, made up of maybe people you first met on YouTube, that first interacted back with you. Maybe you've gotten together with them in person. Maybe you've just been virtual friends. For me, the first people I met on YouTube, I consider the same way I consider, people that I was in a freshman dorm with. You keep up with them. It's a joy seeing them again. The second type of community is a named community, usually around a creator. As an example, Shay Carl has Shaytars. Rhett and Link have the mythical beasts. And I think the most enduring and provocative community on YouTube is what the Vlogbrothers created in the name Nerd Fighters. That's a very, very deep one, and it's part of the reason that they're able to put together a big event like VidCon. The fourth type of community on YouTube is a little bit more difficult to describe, but it does exist, and it has not weakened. It's grown stronger. Initially, people felt like as YouTube commercialized and become hierarchical, that sense of community across YouTube would vanquish. And that's patently untrue. It's patently untrue. There's a strong sense of community. People that have been on YouTube for a long time, and people that are new but feel a sense of belonging, shared identity, and I think communities are generally positive. Although if the community becomes too forged and too exclusive, that can lead to negative things. But I have an interesting story. When I first got this notion of a gathering, it was from Corey, Mr. Safety, when he created As One and brought a bunch of people together on the West Coast and then tried to do an East Coast event. And I became instrumental in putting together 777, which was a YouTube gathering in New York, and one of the biggest at its time. And initially, the gatherings at YouTube were mostly fellow creators and their friends. So there wasn't any type of hierarchy at all. Everyone was there. I mean, some people had crowds around them, others didn't. But nobody was better than anybody else. And that's, I think, extremely important for a community, is to not idolize any particular people. So that takes me to physical gatherings. Corey put together As One, almost in defiance to a meme, a belief, that there could be no such thing as a virtual community. And we found out that, although that's been written about extensively, that is wrong. There have been communities that have formed around a bunch of different types of video sites. There's Meetup, there are Tweetups, whatever they're called. So every social media platform has some type of community that's a derivative of it. It's usually a very small subset of the people that use the site. So, for example, the YouTube community, in the broad sense, I might guess is anywhere from 20,000 to 100,000 people. A very small fraction of people that use YouTube. Now, when we get together here for VidCon coming up, and you probably have mixed feelings on getting together at a gathering. Some people enjoy it, meeting creators, meeting other people that watch their videos or people that they admire. Some people don't like to be among people physically, and that's why they gravitate to YouTube, is because they prefer to interact with others without the pressure of a physical event. Others are thrilled about getting together at these types of gatherings. I'm a little bit in between, because the gatherings, while I love going to them, they can be overwhelming, and I get especially disappointed when there's hierarchy. So for VidCon, and think about the word for a second. Vid, from the word video, from the word videra, is it? To see. And then con, of course, meaning conference, which is con being not, and fur is come together. So conference means not come together. No, I'm kidding. Conference means to convene as one. So video coming together as one. And yet, of course, by popular demand, there'll be people on stage. And there'll be people that feel small and feel big because, they're either on the stage or they're among the crowd. But what's really important, I think, at these gatherings is for us not to see each other as any better or worse, but equal. So that becomes difficult because some people have a ton of subscribers, or maybe you have somebody you really admire and you want to meet and you see them as bigger than life. But a true community does not have any type of hierarchy to it. Everybody feels equally involved and welcomed. And I just want to remind us of that as we get together for VidCon, that although there will be people on stage, this is not a show. I mean, there will be a show, but there's a higher purpose, which is to gather together people who are excited about the medium, excited about certain creators, excited about the whole movement that we're all part of, which is a significant one and is only becoming more significant. It's a sort of breakdown from traditional television, which was, very much limited to the people that were in the right place at the right time, knew somebody, or were doggedly persistent. Whereas on YouTube, all you need is some talent and, some level of socialization, and you can develop quite a following. So anyway, let's just remember that at YouTube, that nobody's better than anybody else. We're all part of the one thing. Hence the word conference, fur, meaning one. What do you think? What are your thoughts? Do you feel like the community is as strong as ever? Do you feel part of it? Do you feel like it's grown up around you? I'm curious. Let me know.